Dear friends and followers, welcome back to Xplane Tips. In this video, I'm just gonna talk about the basic graphic settings which should be implemented while playing Xplane 11. So let's get started.
Okay, let's get started. Before that, don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell button so that you will be getting my next videos as up to date. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you like the video, and don't forget to leave a suggestion or a comment which will be helpful for my improvements. Okay, let's start. This is a basic home page of Xplane 11 Flight Simulator. So in this video I just said that we are just going to talk about the basic features or the basic knowledge where we want or which we want while playing or while we are starting to play Xplane 11. So let's get started. Hit the settings button here. Okay, if you hit the settings button, you will be directed to this page. This is a settings page, and you can see that there are many tabs here, the settings which is depending upon that. Okay, I'm just not going deeply, but as a beginner this video will be helpful for you. So in general settings you will be having the language setting which should help us to communicate with Xplane. So as I am from India and my basic language is English, so I selected English. Okay, this warning submenu is that if you are enabling the warnings, it will be shown if there is any problem with the scenery or if there is a problem with the aircraft. The warnings will be shown that this or the scenery is missing or the aircraft components are missing and all. So this is for showing the warnings. Okay, I'm not going deeply, but okay, I've just told about the logged out test in my previous video, that it's just like a black box in an aircraft, that it will record everything you're doing in Xplane 11. Okay, that's all. Okay, in this flight model tab you'll be having these features. Let me explain that in a brief. Show clickable regions in cockpit. If we take the show clickable regions in cockpit option, you'll be shown a green box around the clickable regions in a cockpit. Okay, the clickable regions like buttons or switches or throttle and all, you'll be shown green color in the cockpit if we have or if we can click in that region. Okay, show ATC taxi arrows. If we are clicking this or if we are ticking the show ATC taxi arrows. Okay, let me explain that while we are explaining about the ATC controls and all in my upcoming videos. Okay, this is not serious, that it will be only guiding from the gate to the runway or after landing from the runway to the gates. That's all. This is only guiding, as this is only guiding a plane or an aircraft to its gate or from gate to the runway. That's all. Here you can see that show instrument instruction in the cockpit. Okay, the instruction about an instrument, that is, if we are just moving or hovering our mouse on a switch or any buttons and all, it will be showing like this. You can see a tooltip like this. You'll be having an instruction for what this instrument is used. That's all. If you tick this, you will be getting a message like this saying if there is a throttle, I am just keeping the mouse, it will be saying that it is a throttle. That's all. Okay, not much important in this. let's go to the next tab, that is sound. Okay, we can enable or disable the volumes or the sounds in Xplane 11. So I've just kept all this sounds to the maximum level. You can see the master volume, the aircraft exterior volume, that is if we are moving outside the aircraft, the volume in the premises of airport, and the volume which is outside the aircraft, that's all. Okay, the aircraft interior, the sound which should be in interior of the aircraft, the cockpit, while we are in the cockpit as a captain or a co-pilot, the sound we hear, that's all. The radios which is used for ATC controls, the sounds about the radios. Environmental, the sounds which is on the premises of the aircrafts, like the other aircraft taxiing or the other aircraft engine sounds, the the ground services sounds and all, that's all. User interface, it's about the properties that we are showing in the Xplane 11 simulator. Okay, the air traffic control, this submenu is just having two options: enable text ATC messages, that we can this is saying that we can text or we can type the instructions to ATC, and enable verbal ATC messages, like the ATC will be communicating with us with verbal messages. So I will just talk about the ATC controls or ATC messages in my upcoming videos. Stay tuned for that. That's all. Just move to the main tab, that is graphics. Okay, this is the graphic tab, which is having the basic graphic features. Okay, the visual effects, as I am having an i3 processor, I've just kept in the high or HDR position. If you are having a Pentium, or if you want a better performance, just drag that back to medium, or just to low, or just to minimal. There are some differences in the graphics if you are just going to minimal and just going to higher, you know that. But if you want a better performance than graphics while we are playing, you should prefer the minimal or low graphic settings if you are having an i3 processor, that's all. If you're having an i5, you can put this graphics on HDR, or you can set it as maximum. That's no problem for that. Okay, it will be having no lag and no problem with the aircraft or with the simulator. Then number of world object. The number of world object is that by increasing the slider or decreasing this, you will be having the world objects, like you can see in our real world, we'll be having trains, cars on the roads, the trees, so many. You can see a lot of environmental things about around the airport. So by increasing this slider, you will increase the number of world objects, or the number of objects near the airports or after takeoff on the sky and all. That's all. And the texture quality, the quality of things we are seeing in the Xplane 11, that's all. The aircraft textures and all. If you decrease the slider, you will be showing less textured aircraft, wing aircraft models and all. If you increase it, you can see high graphic or high texture quality materials. The reflection detail is that the reflection detail is a slider which is helping for the reflection of light or the reflection of any particles and all. You can increase that to increase the reflection effect in Xplane. So I won't explain that the reflection detail while I'm playing with an aircraft. So stay tuned for that. Okay, you can see a box here with a tick here, draw parked aircraft. You can see that if we untick this, there will not be any aircraft in the airport. If you just click this, you will be having a lot of aircrafts of different airliners which will be parked in the gates in an airport. So I think it's better for more realism in an airport. So I've just ticked it. Okay, then okay, this okay, the anti-aliasing is a feature which is giving us the smoothness in an graphics, or smoothness in an aircraft, or while we are seeing the airport, smoothness or the finishing in an airport will be seen in anti-aliasing. Okay, let's come to the bottom. You can see the monitor usage, or you can set the monitor usage from here. As we want the full screen, I just selected the full screen because it's giving a better experience. The window simulator, if you have, you'll be having a minimize button here with a close button. Okay, that's all. Or 2D panel only. You can select. It's better. You can select the full screen simulator mode. And resolution, as a monitor resolution, I just selected the default monitor resolutions and the default view. Okay, the default view is that when we are starting the simulator, or when we have started the simulator with a perfect aircraft, you will be shown from inside the aircraft with a 3D cockpit. I just selected forward with 3D cockpit, so you'll be showing a cockpit with a 3D cockpit inside us. So you can select a cockpit with 2D panel, or you can select forward with scenery. Will not be having any of the cockpit display or anything. You'll be having, or you'll be outside the aircraft. Forward with HUD, you can see green markings on the HUD, like the speed on the left and the altitude on the right, and the earth and the sky. You can see the displays and all in the HUD. That's all, because I just love the 3D cockpit with forward with 3D cockpit, so I just selected this option. Okay, you can see an option like this, allow a windshield effects. I will talk about that when I'm having, or when I select an aircraft which is having a windshield effect and all. Let me explain that. This is only showing when we are selecting stormy or humid weather conditions and all. The windshields in the aircraft will be humid, or will be having water droplets and all. It will be showing. If it is raining, you all know, if it is raining, there will be effects in the windshields. So this allow windshield effect is ticked, so that you will be having the windshield effect if there is a raining and all. In my opinion, you should tick this, allow windshield effects. So that's all in the graphics tab. Next, the network tab is not much important, that we are having option for the multiplayer extensions for display the screen to any other devices and all. That's not much important for a beginner. Data output is also not important for a beginner. Let's skip to the joystick. If you're playing the joystick, I'm not playing with the joystick, I'm just having a mouse control, that's all. So if you are playing with the joystick, you can configure the joystick here. I'm just playing with the keyboard and mouse, so I'm just having these settings here. Okay, before starting Xplane, there are some keyboard control which you should keep, or which you should configure before you're starting the Xplane simulator. So which is essentials. You can see an essential tab here. Just click at this and you'll be having a page like this. Okay, the contact etc will be, this is showing that you'll be having some keyboard shortcuts or keyboard keys which you should use while playing Xplane 11. So here I have just selected the throttle up as F2 and throttle down as F1, which is a default by Xplane 11. The flight controls, you can see the flaps down is set to 2 and the flaps up is set to 1. You can down the flaps or lower the flaps by clicking 2, and you can retract the flaps by clicking 1. Okay, landing gear toggle, I've just selected landing gear down and up controls in a key G. Here you can see. Okay, quick start engines to running, I think it should be okay. Here you can see that toggle brake regular effort. The brakes or the action of brakes will begin when I select the B button. You can see that I've just configured it as selecting a B. Pitch trim down, pitch trim up. Okay, I will explain that about pitch trim and pitch trim effects in the trim tab in my upcoming videos, because it is a control in an aircraft which is not possible to say in words. It is more important or it will be more easy if you see the display, and it will be more easy for you. Okay, the views. This is the most important thing in Xplane while we are playing. You can have the basic external and internal view modes. Okay, the default external views will be circle, that is shift 4, and the tower view will be shift 5. You can also select external view as shift 8, which you can see here. Sorry. Okay, the external effect will be also in shift 8 by default, shift 8. Okay, shift 9 will be the cockpit display, shift 5 will be the tower display. To move backward, I just selected comma, which is by default, and to move down, the down arrow. To move forward, I've just selected a dot or full stop. To move left, the left arrow. To move right, the right arrow. To move up, the up arrow. And this is not needed for a beginner. Okay, there's a difference in external view circle, and I just said about the shift 8. You can see that shift 8. Okay, this is chase. The difference between chase and chase and circle is that if you're in an aircraft, or if you're in an aircraft and we are just traveling the aircraft, the circle is that you'll be having in a circle, and you only can move your views in that circle around the aircraft. But if you click chase, you can move in any direction around the aircraft
whichever way you want. Okay, I'll explain the views and all the external or the internal views and all in my upcoming videos. So that's all. GPU's hardware, that's not important for beginners. So these are all the basic settings you should know in an Xplane 11 simulator. So you can stay tuned for my next videos. That's all for today, and hope you all enjoy. If you enjoy this video, just hit the thumbs up and hit the subscribe button to get my next videos soon. So don't forget, I'll be uploading the next videos within 2 to 3 days, because the basic settings is now clear for you, but the basic aircraft control with the views should be given to you. So I think it will be given in 2 to 3 days. Don't forget that. Okay, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get the notifications. So thanks a lot.